I was recently lucky enough to hear one of the performances that Bernard Haitink did of Bruckner's Seventh Symphony with the New York Philharmonic, and it was unforgettable on many levels. It was an amazing reading of the work from Haitink, but what really struck me at the same time was how fantastic the New York Philharmonic sound is for Bruckner. And the Third Symphony, I think, will be a lot of fun is not the word, but it will be really gratifying to do with the orchestra, because the music of Bruckner requires a kind of commitment and a sincerity, which this orchestra really can muster. There are questions about the Third Symphony that have they're three different versions. And Bruckner was a composer who was full of self-doubt, and he was always editing and changing things. And this is an early work, the Third Symphony, but he kept changing it. And so finally, by the version that we're doing, which is actually from quite late in his career, he takes these early materials, but it sounds like a late symphony from Bruckner. So it's kind of the sound world of the Seventh and Eighth and Ninth Symphonies of Bruckner, with a kind of youthful, more vigorous underpinning, if you will. I've done different versions of the piece, and I'm really convinced that this late version is the one that he actually meant. Bruckner was one of the many composers who felt the shadow of Beethoven behind him. And this D minor symphony is a clear reaction to Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. The D minor of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony influenced so many composers, including Bruckner in this one. And there's a seriousness and a kind of monumental, fatalistic message that I think this symphony is a wonderful expression of. It is a full-throated, romantic utterance, has some of the most beautiful, touching music that I think Bruckner ever wrote. And it's an interesting combination of an early, sort of younger sensibility with an older, wiser rethinking, because he reworked the piece and he created different versions. We're doing actually the late version. So it's a funny combination of an early symphony told with the voice of a wise older man. I think Bruckner takes the symphonic form and luxuriates in it. He creates expanses of sound and deals with time in a very noble way. And for that to really work, the sound itself has to be passionate and colorful and committed from beginning to end. And the New York Philharmonic has, I think, that kind of weight and beauty and substance in its sound that is entirely perfect for Bruckner.